All right, hi everybody, and today our video you're watching right now is going to teach you about cladograms. What I'd like you to do first, if you haven't done so already, is get out your evolution packet and turn to page 26. We're going to do part of the packet questions together as examples. And a cladogram is really just, it's a tree that we use to show relationships between organisms, and we base it on specific traits that they have in common. And a fancy word for cladogram, they're sometimes called phylogenetic trees, but a lot of times people also equate these to like an evolutionary tree. And the first thing we're going to do is talk about how we interpret them. So first, this is a cladogram right out of your packet, looking at insects, and it's a little cartoony, but you'll see that the organisms are all up here at the top. So there's usually this line going up, and then these letters represent traits, and we're going to identify those in a second. Then you have all the little critters that you are organizing as to how they are related to each other. So here we have the 8 different traits that have been used to differentiate these organisms, and we're going to identify which letter they are. So for wings, I would look and I see butterfly has a wing, here's a dragonfly, the insect, and then we get down here without wings. So letter F would represent the wings. 6 legs, so we come along, the worm does not have legs. The spider here has 8 legs, so it can't be B because the spider doesn't have it, but everybody else has 6 legs, so letter C would be the 6 legs. Now, it's a little hard to tell in the pictures, but all insects have a segmented body, and including this worm. So letter A would be the segmented body. Double set of wings. So we come along. The fly does not have a double set, but here, like the dragonfly, you can see the double set and the butterfly. Jumping legs would be these big legs here on the grasshopper, so letter E. Crushing mouth part would be here with this ant, so letter D. And then legs, now we can go back to letter B. And the curly antenna is right here on the butterfly, so letter H. And so if you see here, it's all filled in, so you can fill that in your packet. So that, as we look at the cladogram, we can tell a few different things. First, we can tell which organisms are more closely related to each other. And we look at how many traits they have in common. So the butterfly and the dragonfly share 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 traits, share the most traits, and so we would say they are the most closely related. Whereas even the ant and the grasshopper only share C, B, and A. Now, also in your packet, we're going to make a cladogram. So you have a chart, an empty chart in your packet. Down the side, we have the organisms that we're going to put on the cladogram. Across the top, you have the characteristics we're going to use to differentiate them. And I've filled it in. The yes means that those organisms have that trait. So everybody's made of cells. The slug does not have a backbone, but all the rest do. The frog, the tiger, and the human all have legs. The tiger and the human have hair, and then only the human has the opposable thumb. Now to make your cladogram, you're first going to draw a line like I have here, kind of a slanted line going up, and then a line going up. You'll need 4 of them. Those will represent where we put the organisms. And we decide where they go based on how many traits they have. So the first trait we look at is cells, because all of the organisms have cells. You're going to take that, and that goes down here on the line. And then the only organism that has cells is the slug, and so the slug you would write at the top of that line. The next trait that we would differentiate between them is the backbone. So I put backbone here. And then the organism that has both the backbone and cells is the catfish. Our next trait that differentiates is legs. And the organism that has legs and a backbone and cells is the frog. And if I'm going too fast for you to copy this in, feel free to pause until you catch up and then start again. Our next trait will be hair. And then we put our tiger. And then the last trait that only the humans have are the opposable thumbs. And so the humans would be here. So for example, the human and the tiger would be the most closely related because they share hair, legs, backbone, and cells as common traits with each other. Now, what I would like you to do next is to Look at the questions on page 27 and answer those. You won't be making a cladogram, but there are more questions about analyzing cladograms. Thank you very much.